Most of you are already aware of the drama between Sargon and Anita. To be quite frank, there really isn't much more to say about this subject other than what has already been said. But I want to give out my 2 cents on this article Anita has made responding to the VidCon event. And of course she has to double down on her stupidity. Then again, this is Anita we're talking about. You couldn't pay her to have a rational debate, especially against the likes of Sargon or Thunderfoot. Now, you know me, I prefer to respond to videos rather than articles. But I think I can make this work, saying it's a bit short. I won't bother reading it to you, of course, but I will have someone who will.
To kick off the Women Online panel at VidCon last Thursday, the moderator posed the question, "Why do we still have to talk about the harassment of women?" I replied, "Because I think one of my biggest harassers is sitting in the front row." He showed up with several others. Together, his group took up the 2 front rows at the panel. Their presence was plainly not, as one of them later said in an apology video he posted to Twitter, to give us the chance we never gave them and to hear us out, but was instead to intimidate me and put me on edge. They will no doubt plead innocent and act shocked at what they characterize as the outrageousness of such allegations. This, too, is part of their strategy, gaslighting, acting in a way intended to encourage me and their other targets to doubt ourselves and to wonder if all of this isn't just in our heads. But to anyone who examines their patterns of behavior with clear eyes, the intentions of their actions are undeniably apparent.
Off the bat, you can tell Anita is just straight up lying to everyone. How in the world can having a present alone is a way to intimidate or shock you? Sargon has done nothing but listen to the whole conversation at hand. One can say he's willing to listen. This is just a cheap way to become relevant again. By going after Sargon, one of Anita Sarkeesian's biggest critics, mind you, she knew that by doing so she will try to gain the spotlight once more. These are the type of people that should not get the spotlight at all because they want to bask in it as long as possible.
Carl is a man who literally profits from harassing me and other women. He makes over $5,000 a month on Patreon for creating YouTube videos that mock, insult and discredit myself and other women online, and he's not alone. He is one of several YouTubers who profit from the cottage industry of online harassment and anti-feminism. Together, these people have millions of followers who are regularly encouraged by the videos and tweets of these individuals to harass me and other women who make videos daring to assert the basic humanity of women, people of color, trans folks, and members of other marginalized groups.
The videos themselves are not personal attacks on Anita. Most anti-feminists go after the argument and not the person. The reason why Sargon is getting so much money is because his content is very professional. They are long, informative, and also quite entertaining. Unlike you, Anita, who by the way makes videos not even monthly, but like whenever you feel like it. You're a fucking scam artist who uses victimhood to gain sympathy and money.
Because of the constant flood of threats and harassment I have received over the past 5 years simply for being a woman who argues for the basic humanity of women in a deeply misogynistic culture, I went for a very long time rarely participating in public conversations. Being a target of cybermob harassment is a traumatizing experience, though harassers seek to deny this. One tactic of theirs is to dismiss this very idea, to say that everyone online is treated the same. Everyone online gets called names sometimes. In fact, there is simply no comparison between being occasionally mocked or insulted online as a male anti-feminist who occupies a position of power in an overwhelmingly sexist, patriarchal culture, and being a woman who receives a never-ending torrent of abuse while fighting tooth and nail to create an online culture that is a little less misogynistic and a little more equitable.
Once again, Anita plays the victim card by stating it's not because of her arguments are flawed or her opinions are being treated like facts, especially in schools. It's because she's a woman with a voice. Nothing more. It's hard to believe that Anita is traumatized from all this harassment when time and time again she uses us to boost her ego. Remember, she lied about being a gamer.
However, Despite the torrent of harassment, I recently made the conscious decision to participate more regularly in panels and conversations at public events, because I wanted to engage with people who show up in good faith to listen to our ideas. But let me make something very clear. When you have a history of harassing someone for years, and you show up in the front row at their panel with a camera and an entourage, that is not an act of good faith, to put it mildly. That is itself an act of harassment and intimidation. He and his companions were doing this not just to me but to other women as well. Women like Kat Black and Francesca Ramsey, so that we all are aware at VidCon that this man who has harassed us and whose hundreds of thousands of followers have attacked us online for years is here, watching us. It's a deliberate act to create an environment that feels hostile, to communicate to us that if and when we dare to show up in public to express the ideas that we express online, the harassment will follow us into the physical world as well.
Fucking hell, Anita. Sargon has done nothing to interrupt your panel by stating that Sargon and his posse is out to intimidate you by being there alone. It comes to shove that you're not meant to handle criticism. It's been proven in a video where you demanded that someone who challenged you to defend your position, and you demanded that person to be removed from the panel. Also, I love it on how you mentioned Kate Black and Francesca Ramsey, but not Lacey Green. She is, or rather was, one of the biggest speakers for feminism, and now she decided to have an open discussion with the anti-fems. Why not see that Lacey Green is willing to have an open discussion? Would you be as open as Lacey if she was the one challenging your beliefs?
Now, he and his followers are acting as if me publicly calling him a garbage human is the equivalent to what he has done to me. In truth, he and his followers cannot begin to imagine what it is to have to constantly beg for and fight for your basic humanity in a culture that fundamentally refuses to acknowledge it. He cannot imagine what it is to spend years and years being the target of floods of harassment and hate, and then to still go out there and keep fighting. The companion of his who made that apology video I referenced earlier also tweeted that women are powerful enough to deal with things like workplace harassment to rape. As if power is in accepting a culture in which women are second-class citizens, in which misogyny and workplace harassment and rape are the norm. Fuck that. I'll never settle for that. You're damn right I'm powerful. After everything I've been put through by Carl and other men just like him, I'm still powerful enough to go out there and try to change it.
Anita, there is no misogyny. You're not fighting against anything. You're just gaining more and more money by pulling these stunts. You're not powerful because you rely on lying. You rely on cheating your way through life. You are the weakest human being on this fucking planet. There's really nothing more to say because there is no convincing these people. There is an article on the Mary Sue called Serial Harassers Tried to Hijack Conversations About Harassment, claiming that Sargon's intention was to hijack the panel for himself and to scare off Anita. These people are the worst. I am the Atheist Gamer and keep gaming on.